That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family more than.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think she has a right? Because obviously she does. That's her husband. But Candace Owen worked with Charlie Kirk. She put out a video where they seemed like they were really close. Do you think that Candace has a right to voice her opinion?
I think Candace had a right to say anything she damn well feel. And, you know, that's the thing that's frustrating me when it comes to the MAGA community. Love you, MAGA brothers and sisters. Peace. I'm not trying to fight with y'all. But when other people have something to say, you have a problem with it. But when we tell you that you shouldn't say negative things in regards to transgender people and you shouldn't stop teachers from talking about two parents and two moms and two dads and anything controversial. We shouldn't talk about pro rights.
Hold on, wait. Let me stop you for 1 second. Are you saying that you're against males playing sports and female sports?
I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying
I want to know your position. Your position.
I said my position is that my position when it comes to my position in regards to the transgender people is they have a right to do whatever the hell they want to do. That's my position. Okay. When it comes to that, as simple as I can. I don't want to get into the nuances because there's a lot of little nuances I could get into that could get myself in trouble. But at the end of the day, I believe the general, if you want to know about Mama Flip and how she thinks, a Black woman in Brooklyn, everyone has a right to do what the hell they want to do, how they want to do it in their precious life that God has given us throughout this world. If I want to freaking play women's sports or male sports, I'm a former Marine. You know how many times disrespect I had being a Marine, female Marine sharpshooter in the Marine Corps because they felt that I was a woman and I didn't know how to pew M16. I didn't know how to dismantle an M16. I was a sharpshooter, 3 points for being an expert shooter. And I had to prove myself in the Marine Corps, and I'm a female. So everybody has a right to do what the hell they want to do with their life.
I'm sorry. Moo Howard says, what a stupid position.
You could, whatever position you see, and this is again MAGA support. You see, this is again brothers, sisters of MAGA community. See, this is the difference between MAGA and the rest of the world, the difference between Democrats and the Republican. You understand what I'm saying? And this is exactly what I'm talking about as far as Candace Owens, to bring it back to Candace Owens, right? People don't like what you have to say or how you like to say it, and then they use derogatory terminology to call you stupid and idiot and stuff. This person who put that in doesn't even know who the hell I am, how intelligent, how successful I am, and I am her. I am her. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't spend time with people talking about stupid position. I'm telling you how I feel. You asked me a question. I believe that everyone has a right to live the best life they want to live in the time frame that God gave us. That's including transgender, LGBTQ, MAGA brothers and sisters, Republicans, everybody. We have a right to live our life without being persecuted, without being dragged, lied on, beaten, unalived.
Period. I'm sorry. Jason says men do not belong in women's bathroom or sports, period.
Transgender people, okay, if we want to have this conversation, considers themselves to be the opposite sex that they were born to. This is why they put in a lot of money, a lot of time in order to change their outward appearance, right? Now, some of them are pre-opt, meaning that they do not remove the genitals. However, they believe that they are the sex that they are born to. Now, should women go into men's bathroom? I have gone into men's bathroom to use the bathroom. When I was in the military, prior to this being an issue, men and women, we went to the same stall, right? That's how it was. When I was in my 20s and 30s and I used to go to clubbing, right? The doors, you know, that was a club that I used to go to. They used to have one set of bathroom, and I used to go there to the men bathroom because sometimes the women bathroom had a longer lines. I used to go to the men's bathroom to use the men's bathroom. No one bothered me. It was never an issue until they made it an issue. Okay. Now, as a parent, if you feel uncomfortable with taking your young child into a bathroom that is unisex or a men's bathroom, then you have a right as a parent not to do that. But you, in general, do not have a right to tell the world that a woman who needs to use a bathroom and don't want to stand on a long line cannot go into a man's bathroom to use a bathroom. Now, you guys want to spend the time and make it the reverse and say that a man shouldn't go to a woman's bathroom. You see, that's what everybody's talking about. Oh, a man shouldn't go into a women's bathroom. But what we don't understand, in my entire lifetime, I've gone into men's bathroom to use the bathroom several times in my lifetime. When I was a teenager, when I was in the Marine, as an adult, no one has harassed me. No one has tried to take advantage of me. I went to use the bathroom. And that was a big issue. Because you know why? Because people don't like transgender people. That's what it is. People don't accept transgender people. So they want to make them into the new boogeyman, that they're coming after our children and our wives and attacking, and they shouldn't be in the same gym. We are in the same gym together. We are. Right? Some of us, we go into the same showers together. I mean, let's talk about how we have freaky dickies where we have men and women who wants to get a little sneak in the tip when you guys take your women and men to bathroom and do some extra activity in the bathroom while the rest of us is on the plane, while the rest of us is in the clubs. Like when some of us, y'all know, some of y'all went in the gym with your loved one. Y'all did a little freaky dicky in the shower in the gym. Why are we playing? My whole thing is that this become a very serious, nasty issue because people don't like transgender people and they want to use them as a ghost. You have a right as a parent not to have your child be part of any sports where you feel that someone is being unfairly advantaged because you think that the man that is the transgender person should not be in the same sports with your child because you feel that they have an advantage.
Okay.
Right? That's the issue, right? Because they are men, so they have more testosterone, so they can't, the women's sports, for example, let's just use wrestling. So you don't want a transgender teenager to wrestle your female daughter because you feel that the transgender has more masculinity, so they're going to beat them, right? But when it comes to wrestling and boxing, even I know it has to be the same weight class. It has to be the same body mass. There's a lot in the games that make sure that these people are equal prior to them going into these sports. So the reason why I go into this is just say that I think that the transgender issue, everybody's making into a boogeyman issue. It's not about the actual issue of safety of children, women, and stuff in the gym. It's just about making them into a boogeyman. And okay. I will land my plane.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go back and...
I'm sorry, Mel. I told you I warned you. Don't do that.
It's okay. We're going to go back to the video. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So let's go. Oh, my.
It's for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. Mm-hmm. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do?
Guys, we have 400 and some people. Please hit the 500. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thanks.
Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what? The conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas.
Do you think people are picking on her?
I don't know, Erica. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my camera. I don't know, Erica, so I don't know if people are picking on her. I mean, I know that the fact is that a lot of people would have, prior to his unalivement, would have picked on her and CK, because CK came across, you know, God rest his soul, and I hope justice is found for him and his family. And I hate to have to talk about her because I'm a fellow survivor, and I try not to talk about other fellow survivors. So, but I know that based on the rhetoric and what he talked about prior to his unalivement, he is going to get picked at. And in him getting picked at, his wife is going to get picked at. Because when you pick at different people and talk about different people and you make fun and disparaging comments, especially about Black and brown community, you're going to get that back. I mean, whatever you give, you're going to get it back. So I feel bad that now because she's in the middle of a crisis, you know, because somebody took your beloved husband in the middle of the daytime in a YT community at a YT college with a bunch of YT people. Obviously, she feels, you know, horrific, because who do you trust, right? So if she's saying people are picking on her, I believe that they're picking on her. It should she expect it and continue expecting? Yeah, because this is what the lifestyle that they set themselves up for. And they have a right to say whatever they want to, but you know, if you talk bad about people, they're gonna talk bad about you. Okay. Should it stop because she lost her husband? That would be nice if it stopped. But the thing is, she now, instead of going on to become this amazing widower, because now they're trying to make her into John F. K. Jr.'s wife, you know, Jackie Kennedy, because now she's the new MAGA YT Jackie Kennedy, because that's what they're trying to make her at, right? You see, with Jackie Kennedy, she was beloved because she continued to shut her mouth, you know, she mourned her husband, and she continued to do great work to help people. Erica, unfortunately, she has the same personality as Charlie Kirk, and a lot of people pushed back on her because a lot of things she said and done, right? And then she became president of the much hated TPUSA, who a lot of people believe is not only conservative, but a hating group. All right? That's what people believe because of what they've done. They had a lot of very controversial people that created TPUSA. That's including CK. That's including Candace Owens. We all know that Candace Owens is a hater of Black women. Okay? No disrespect, Candace. We heard what you had to say about us. We also know that CK, prior to his unalignment, God rest his soul, also had a lot of things to say. So obviously she's going to get a lot of that. She got it while CK was alive, and she's getting it now. If she had just continued to do, and she has a right to get this job, to become the CEO and president. I'm not saying that. But if she had decided to go in the direction of other widowers of very famous people, loving the community, bringing people together, helping the divide, trying to decrease the rhetoric of anger and hatred after the beloved after their beloved was unalive. I'm talking about Martin Luther King widower, Loretta King. I'm talking about JFK widower, Jackie Onassis. I'm talking about all of these. If she would go on that line, she may be able to bridge the hatred that's happening, but she's not doing that. She's not doing that. And then what she's doing now is she's going after the one person, and I don't agree with Candace Owen at all. I want to make sure I say that. I say that all the time because I don't want nobody saying that I'm a Candace Owen lover, because I'm not. But you're going after the one person after your loved one was unalive that was steady fast and trying to find out the truth.
Let me show you this here. I want to see what you have to say about it, all right?
Celebrated by the media. So Joy Reid goes on MSNBC and says that there's something wonderfully poetic about the fact that the first person to criminally prosecute Donald Trump is a black Harvard grad. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home, is what Joy Reid says. Joy Reid is racializing what is happening to Trump. None of us are racializing it. In fact, we think it's completely irrelevant. We're not here to look at the skin color of Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James. But what Joy Reid sees is revenge against the white man. It's not a...
It's just the revenge against the white man.
I'm sorry, CK. God rest you. CK, God bless you. God rest you. God rest you. God rest you. I don't want to talk about you, boy. I really don't. I already got into enough trouble. We can talking about you. Lord have mercy. Okay, so
you can skip it if you want to.
I'm gonna say this. I've never heard CK talk prior to his unalivement. I didn't know who he is. I wasn't a follower of his. I don't go in my life to watch against people who hate my own kind of people. I just don't, right? So I didn't know who he was until he unalived. And then that's when I realized that he cared about the Epstein files. And that's how I was able to connect with him. I'm like, oh, at least he cared about the Epstein file. He wanted to release. CK is funny. It was funny as all hell. The hypocrisy and lies that came out of the conservative white tea men. We are not the one that made it into a color thing. They're the one that made it into a color thing. The fact that CK even say DEI shows that he was just race baiting. He in his own kind, God bless him, God rest him, is the one that brought up the DEI issue. He did that and became a big thing with the 2024 election. Prior to the 2016 and 2020, none of them was talking about DEI. They weren't talking about how black folks were giving seats in Harvard, and we didn't work very hard for our career, not knowing that black folks is the most hardworking people because we don't get nothing from anybody. Even going to Harvard, we don't get nothing. We bust our ass. So if you take us out of our regular job, we'll find another job because we worked from the bottom up all the way up to our profession. Right? So they're the one that made the DEI issue, saying that everyone in government, everyone that has the plum jobs and stuff like that, we did not deserve it. So for him to say that Joy Reid, and I'm upset with it. I love me some Joy Reid, but I'm upset because I think that Joy Reid was complacent with the media and helped Kamala Harris lose the race. That's just me. And I also didn't like the way they went after President Biden. So I have my issue with Joy Reid too, and I love her. You know, I'm less mad at her than everybody else. But you understand what I'm saying? The fact that they're saying that we are race baiting the white tea man when it was the reverse. Everything about Trump from the moment he stepped down the escalator where he called Mexican rapists and murderers, it was all about race. It was all about race. So to try to rewrite it now that Donald Trump was being held accountable for his crimes. You see, the thing is, Donald Trump was being held accountable for his crimes. And nobody would have gone after Donald Trump if he didn't run for the biggest office in the United States of America. Because everybody, especially people in New York, know that Donald Trump is a creep. He's a liar. He's a thief. Like, we know this. We live in New York. We heard about Donald Trump our entire lives. Don't get me wrong. Some of us loved him I was one of them when he was part of The Apprentice. A lot of us loved him. We thought that he was the man. He was the playboy. But we also know that he hated against Central Park 6. We also know that he called Haitian people about saying that we brought AIDS into the United States of America. We know who Trump is. You understand? So you cannot just whitewash this man and make him into a saint. You're born again, Jesus.
Hold on,
Christ.
hold on.
I'm so sorry.
Brian Cantrell says, has anyone heard of Hunter Biden?
Have anybody heard of? But you guys don't care about Hunter Biden now, though, right? Y'all don't care about him. We heard about Hunter Biden, and we know that Hunter Biden also loved to. Let's go with Hunter Biden. We know that he had a big schlong, right? We know that he was a ladies' man, right? We know that there was some videos about him with unclothes, right? We know that he took rugs, right? We know a lot of things about Hunter Biden. We also know that Hunter Biden almost unalived in a car with and he saw his mom and his sister unalived before in his youth. We know that his brother was in the car with him when his mom and his sister were unalived, and they both were in the hospital for many, many months recovering. We know that his beloved brother that he survived with when his mom and his daughter was unalived in the car end up unaliving as a result of the big C. We know that Hunter Biden had a lot of issues. We didn't lie about that. We know who he is. You guys, and MAGA brothers and sisters, love you guys, no disrespect. Y'all lying about Donald Trump. Y'all rewriting Donald Trump history because you feel that you want us to accept him. Like I saw this person online earlier named Virginia while I was waiting to come on, while I was saying that, why can't you guys leave our president alone? First of all, he's not my president. He's your president. So please don't put us into this whole category. I don't recognize the man. Y'all didn't recognize Biden. So this is the hypocrisy bullshit that we talking about. Y'all didn't recognize Obama. You know how many times he ain't my president? What about Michelle? That man, that she-man, that transgender, she ain't a woman, right? So if you guys didn't recognize Obama, y'all didn't recognize Biden. I don't recognize Donald Trump, all right? So he ain't my president, but he's your president. And you have a right to ask that we respect and love him, right? Y'all have a right, just like we had a right to say, leave our president alone, right? But you don't have a right to lie about this man's history. This man is a creep. He's a creep, right? And now we're seeing it with the Epstein files. Now we're talking about 96,000 photos. And all these photos are coming out. And we're seeing him with his best friend Epstein. And let's put Bill Clinton on the side a little bit because we also knew that Bill Clinton was a player. We remember Monica Lewinsky. We remember what happened in the White House with the deaths of Monica Lewinsky. No disrespect, Monica, on her knees. You understand what I'm saying? We remember all of that. You see, I can see all sides. I don't have to lie and try to make my leaders squeaky clean. I know the kind of garbage they came in with. I know that.
Candyman says if you're an American, he's your president. Point blank, period.
Actually, no. I disagree. Just like I said, when you guys start telling me that President Obama and President Barack Obama, and when you guys agree that he was your president and President Biden was your president, then we could talk about whether Trump is my president. Because, y'all want to make sure that there was no other president besides Donald Trump. Is Bush your president? Is Carter your president? Because I can say Bush, and I can stand Bush. Bush was my president. Carter was my president. I can name even Nixon, and I can't stand Nixon. I can say that Nixon was my president because everybody, nobody had a problem with saying who was our president of the United States until Donald Trump came into office. Prior than that, everyone had a general agreement. Whoever won that office was the president of the United States. MAGA is the one that started this whole bullshit, excuse my language, when Barack Obama came president, started talking about that black man ain't my president. You know how many times I heard that BS? So now I can say the same thing about theirs. Go ahead.
All right, we got to get back to Charlie Kirk.
I'm sorry.
All right, it's okay.
Shock because Joy Reid racializes everything in American life. This is, of course, the downfall of the entire republic. Listen for yourself. Play cut 71.
There is something wonderfully poetic about the fact that despite the fact that even if convicted, he's not going to go to prison, the first person to actually criminally prosecute Donald Trump is a black Harvard grad, the very kind of person that his former staff, the people who worked for him, Stephen Miller, et cetera, want to never be at Harvard Law School. But he was. And he came out and graduated. He's prosecuting you, Donald. And a black woman is doing that same exact thing in Georgia. And a black woman forced you to pay a $175 million fine that's out now also in question because the people who put it up, that might not be legit. Donald Trump is being held to account by the very multicultural, multiracial democracy that he's trying to dismantle. And for me, there's something poetic and actually wonderful about that. It says something good about our country that we're still capable of having that happen. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home on today.
Hold on. You're not exactly making the best case here, Joy Reid.
No.
Fannie Willis is a DEI? Okay, you're saying it, not me. Okay. Fannie Willis has broken like every protocol and possibly Georgia law. Alvin Bragg is a DEI. You said it, not me. The guy's a moron. In one of the sloppiest written indictments, legally shoddy indictments we've seen. Letitia James is a DEI. You said it. I didn't. You're proving to me why they're terrible. You read their indictments. First of all, the first indictment was filled with typos. I don't look at race, but you're bringing up race here and you're saying, well, these DEIs are doing. If DEI means hyper-partisan, bitter, looks at the world through racialized lens to get whitey, and they're not very smart, you're making the argument, Joy Reid. They have racialized and weaponized the justice system. That's not something to be celebrated. You're calling them DEI. And it kind of proves the point. They're not very bright. They are not qualified, but they're angry.
So this is the reason why a lot of people
It's so funny.
of color did not like Charlie Kirk. Do you think that he makes a solid point, though?
Yeah, Charlie Kirk was funny. You know, God rest you. I'm gonna continue to say God rest you. Charlie Kirk is funny. You know why Charlie Kirk is funny? Because everybody he named, unfortunately, the Fannie Willis case got dropped because of partisan, because Donald Trump won the current seat in the White House, so they will use that in order to drop the case against him.
Wait a minute. You don't think it's because of the love boat?
I think they used the love boat as an excuse, but I don't think if he did not win the presidency, then the case would have continued.
Yeah, but she hired a guy, right?
The guy that she was dating prior to this case. You understand? They were dating, they were friends, and then they continued during the case. But she knew the guy before the case. So it's not as if she decided she's gonna hire a black man and go to sleep with him because she wanted to go after Donald Trump. That's not how it worked. They were two people who knew each other for many years. They became friends. They worked together very close. They got into a relationship during the case. And then after that, they decided to say that the case was tainted because she was dating this guy. That's how it was. It's not that she went to this guy and said, oh, you know something? You hate Donald Trump, and I want to give you a piece of something because you hate Donald Trump, and you're going to help me drag Donald Trump down. That's not what happened. But that's what they made it into. That's what they made it into when it came to Fannie Willis.
Okay, because they're trying to say that she was dating a guy, and then she fed him this case, and then fed him some money, and the money was used on her to go on vacation.
Well, that's what they're trying to say. So what happened was that Fannie Willis know this guy, and I forgot what is his name anyway? The guy that she was dating. I can't remember his name. They were dating. They knew each other. They were friends for many years. They were part of the community. And then after that, they started working very hard on this case and they started dating. And once they started dating, now they continued on the case and they used the fact that they were dating as a reason to say that the case was tainted. That's what happened. So it's not as if all of a sudden she went and she picked out one random black guy and say, oh, you hate Donald Trump. I hate Donald Trump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not only give you money, but I'm also going to give you a piece of something. in order for us to be together so we could go after Donald Trump.
Okay, so Mashona hits the nail on the head. She says no, she was having an affair with him and hired him for an excessive amount. Shout out to you, Mashona.
She was, but I think we're saying the same thing. I said that
Okay.
she met the man, right? She
Mhm.
met him. They started dating, right? They both were part of the same case. And they used the fact that they were dating each other as a reason to question her case. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that she decided that because she hated Donald Trump and she met him and they had a conversation. Do you hate Donald Trump as much as I hate Donald Trump? So why don't we get together? I'll give you a piece of something. I'll give you some money so that we could both go after Donald Trump. That's what I'm saying. That's what everybody said in order to get the case was dropped, and that's not what happened.
But do you think that case could have shut Trump down from becoming president? Do you think that was a key case?
I thought it was a key case because it proved that Donald Trump was trying to I think everything he did as far as Georgia, as far as Giuliani, as far as the election case, I think they did it. So it was a great case. It was a great case. But the thing is, nobody cared about the case. They only cared about her relationship, right? They didn't care about the case because he was the candidate. If he wasn't the candidate, and if MAGA brothers and sisters and half of the independents did not vote for him, then we would still be able to continue the case. We may not be able to continue the case with Fannie Willis because they got rid of her. Because the thing is, they had to get rid of her in order to get the case dropped. But they may have been able to replace her with someone else equally competent, and we would have found out what happened and what really happened with the Georgia election. But they won because the case was dropped.
His name was Nathan Wade, by the way.
Nathan Wade. Thank you for looking it up because my laptop is over there. So Nathan Wade. So either way, they won. Congratulations. The case was dropped. They brought somebody else in and they dropped the case. We will one day find out what actually really happened with Georgia and the Georgia case because everything's going to come to light. You know what you conservative MAGA love to say? Everything comes to light. Jesus Christ will give us the answer one day. So I hope to be alive so we can find out what really happened with Donald Trump in this case. Because I think the case would have been a good case. It would have been a good study. I think Donald Trump would have been able to be found guilty. And all of those people who was aligned, who signed the alternative ballot and stuff like that to go against President Biden at the time.
Can you say one good thing about Donald Trump?
No.
Not one?
I liked him in The Apprentice. Other than that, yeah, no, I can't say right now. I can't say not one good thing about Donald Trump right now. I loved him at The Apprentice. I thought he did an amazing job as The Apprentice. I thought I was a fan. As the kids say, I was a fan. But now, not one itty bitty tiny from his makeup to his clothes to his dance to his current first lady. I can't say one good thing about Donald Trump right now. One thing I was looking forward to, and I'm still waiting for, is his changing the regulations as far as us keeping our because I'm a slot channel, right? So I love the fact that he was saying that we don't have to pay taxes on our hand pays. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was going to go through, so if I get money through my slots and I get a big hand pay, I don't have to pay taxes on that. But then he removed when he gave it to us in one hand and he took it away from another, because prior to this conversation, we could have used 100% of our casino expenses, right? As far as to use it to offset any of our when we pay taxes. So you used to be able to use 100% of your wins, right, to offset any tax liability. Now he decreased it to 90%. So even though he was giving in one hand, he was taking away from another. So that I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to him increase. Not that we can't pay taxes. I'm sorry. Instead of paying taxes on $1,200, he was going to increase it to $2,000 or something like that.
Wow.
I was looking forward to that. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
if he did that, I would have been like, yo, oh boy, gave us some money back as a content creator.
Tom says your mindset is dangerous. He won popular and electoral college.
Yeah, he did. Congratulations, MAGA. Congratulations, MAGA. Congratulations to the independents. Congratulations to our Latino brothers and sisters. Congratulations to that, because y'all did that. Y'all put him in office. Congratulations. Y'all did that. And congratulations. He's in office again. Y'all put him back in. What do you want me to say about that? How is my mind dangerous? He not only did he win the electoral, he won the populace. And the reason why he won the populace because everybody was so hating on Kamala Harris. Our college loving young people was very upset because of what happened in the war across the world. And I'm not talking about Russia and Ukraine. They were very upset about that, and they were determined for Kamala Harris not to win the election. Also, there was a lot of, America is not ready for not only a woman president, but they're not ready for a Black woman president. So yes, he won. Congratulations to you guys. Y'all did that. He's in office. Congratulations.
Tom says, do you not like the no tax on tips, brokering a deal to release Israeli hostages, Trump's $1,000 account for newborns?
So let's go back. The taxes. Did the no tax on tip, has that been implemented yet? Because there's a lot of people that I know in the actual industry. Prime example is we just went through the casino Bali's, and we played for 5 days at the casino. We were talking to our actual I don't know if they want to call server. I don't want to say waitress, but we was talking to a Haitian descent waitress that was there. And according to my understanding, when I go back to Bali's, I'm going to ask her, according to my understanding, she still has to pay taxes. She still has to pay taxes. In fact, she was telling a story to us because I was actually surprised because I thought the whole no tax tip was in play. So my mom and I was talking to her, and she was like, we get tips. So apparently this is how she says it works. They get tips, whether the tip comes in the credit card statement, right? Or whether they get the tip on the table. Because normally we like to give them cash tips. So that we in our mind thinking that if we give them cash tips, they keep the tip to themselves and it doesn't get impacted like it would if you put the tip on the credit card statement. So we were talking to her, and I guess my mother was asking her because it's like sister, they were speaking in Creole and stuff, and they were excited to see a fellow Haitian. So they were talking. So she was asking about the tip, like, what were the best thing do you want us to put on the table? And she's like, it doesn't matter. And my mother was like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? She said they assume that when we serve you guys, that you automatically going to give us a tip anyway, so they take it off the top. And we're like, excuse me? I said, that doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? We say, what if you don't get a tip? She said, it doesn't matter. She said, as long as we're serving, because I guess the receipt talks about recommend tips. So it's automatically, they already consider that all the servers, whether they're getting cash or on the credit card, they are getting tips. So it's automatically taking out on the taxes. That's what
Schultz says it begins in 2026.
Oh, talk to me when it begins. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When it begins and it happens, then talk to me. Until now, it's not on the table yet. But call me. Let's have this conversation when it begins. But as of now, he still did not do it. Now, what was the other thing they asked me for? As far as what? It was the tip, and there was another thing that he said.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to switch gears because we're running out of time. It's been over 2.5 hours, so I'd like to bring this down. But we both attended Luigi Mangioni's case. I just want to ask you, what are your thoughts about the case so far?
Before we go that, can I let's finish the Erica because we went into Trump, and you gotta be very careful. Don't bring up Trump with me because I'm gonna go crazy. With Erica and Candace, I want to just land my plane with that. I'm very surprised that Erica's taking this stance. What she's doing right now as the CEO, I'm sure she's probably getting a lot of flack from TPUSA and saying that you need to shut down Candace Owen. Prior to this, she was very quiet and introspective. She said she wasn't addressing the Candace Owen because she does agree that Candace and her husband were friends, and she understands that Candace is going through her own grief, so she's going to let her live. Now she took a stance in that she's directly going after Candace Owen. Candace Owen is being very graceful right now by saying, hey, I hear you. You want me to stop. You want me to stop lying. Just let me know what I'm lying about so I can fix it, because I really want to continue to find out what happened with Charlie. Candace Owen is being very graceful right now, but it's about to get ugly real quick. Right? So Erica and Candace battle, World War X battle, is going to be nasty. And knowing Candace Owen, she's going to bring out some serious tea about Erica. So anything that Charlie has ever told Candace Owen about his wife is about to come out if Erica does not leave Candace Owens alone. And I land my plane. Luigi, the case was great. Did you come on Friday? Because I didn't see you.
Yeah, I was there.
All right.
We have, hold on one second. I'm going to try to pull this off. Let me see. Okay, maybe let's see if I can find a short version. We have breaking news, but I'm trying to, just give me 1 second. You can keep talking for a second here.
Oh, I want to see something that's going on at Brown University.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to go to. So I'm just trying to find a condensed version of it. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, they said it was like.
Okay, guys. People. So hold on 1 second. See if we can get this up. Okay, let's see here. Let's remove Charlie. All right, you can keep talking while I get this up. Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. I got it. Here we go.
Yeah, let us know what's going on with that.
So let's see what's happening.
Oh God, Fox News.
It's important for us to share what details we do have to the community, because there's a lot of fear and anxiety and unfortunately already some misinformation, but this is very early hours. And so please know that some of these details may be subject to change, that this investigation is ongoing. We will be as transparent as we can in the hours to come, and we'll provide regular updates, but we're going to share what we do know at this time. But please bear with us as we know sometimes these details shift as the investigation progresses. Sadly, today is a day that the city of Providence and state of Rhode Island prayed would never come. We've heard about horrific acts of gun violence and active shooter situations in other places, but not here. But this afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we received a call. 4:05 was when the initial call came in to Brown University of a report of an active shooter. I can confirm that there are 2 individuals who have died this afternoon, and there are another 8 in critical status, though stable, at Rhode Island Hospital.
Okay, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to try to re-add this so that we can have sound. I'm not sure why the sound isn't working, but give me 1 second. We're going to try it again. Give me 1 second here.
In effect,
Do you guys hear the sound now?
the area. If you live on or near Brown's campus, we are encouraging you to stay home and stay inside. If you're not home at this time, we would encourage you not to return to your homes until shelter in place has been lifted. We will make regular updates through all City of Providence official social media channels. That's where you can find out more information about the shelter in place, if it changes, when it's lifted. I want to commend the heroic work the Providence Police Department, the Brown Police Department, Providence Fire Department, and the many agencies who provided mutual aid today. Brown Police responded first and then were quickly assisted by Providence Police, who fearlessly and courageously entered and worked through the building, and we'll hear from them in a minute. Providence Fire responded quickly as well and transported several of the victims. The fire department was assisted with mutual aid from across the state of Rhode Island. And as I think we know our community to be, our neighbors have really stepped up in a big way today. and we're very grateful for everyone who has offered assistance and who will continue to offer assistance. The fire department was aided by departments in Warwick, Barrington, Bristol, Brown, EMS, Pawtucket, Cranston, Coventry, Smithfield, East Greenwich, North Kingstown, Woonsocket, professional ambulance companies Situate and Cumberland. Providence Police and Brown Police were aided by East Providence, Cranston, Cumberland, the State Police, the FBI, and the ATF. Brown, Providence, and the FBI are currently in close coordination as they seek to find the shooter or shooters. The shooting took place at the Barris and Holly building, which is a Brown University engineering and physics building. The building contains both classrooms and lab space. We'll hear from the provost in a minute with some additional updates from Brown. There will be a family reunification center that Brown will be setting up effective at 7 o'clock. Please stay tuned for updates on where that will be. We are encouraging anyone who was a witness to today's action to please contact the police as the investigation is ongoing and they may have critical information. At this time, I'd like to introduce the governor of the state of Rhode Island, who was quick to call and offer assistance and has been in touch with our law enforcement, had the state police respond quickly, and has been a great partner to the city of Providence on this sad day. Governor McKee.
Okay, Mayor. Yeah, so the unthinkable has happened. And I've been in touch, as the mayor said, to make sure that all the resources that we have, whether it's the EMA, our state police, Department of Health, which we've been in contact with as well, are responding in a way that is being helpful as possible. We've been in contact with the White House as well. Our office has been in contact with the White House. So we will bring all our resources to the table. I've been in touch with Governor Healy as well as other governors who have experienced the same tragedy. So our thoughts go out to those who have been impacted by this in any way, and we'll continue to provide the assistance to the authorities here in Providence, as well as statewide, and continue to make sure that we are doing everything we can to help the families that are, that are suffering right now.
Thank you, Governor. Now I'd like to introduce Chief Rodney Chapman from Brown PD.
My name is Rodney Chapman. I'm Vice President for Brown University, Vice President of Public Safety and Emergency Management, and that serves as Chief of Police as well. As mentioned, we will mention this several times, this is a very fluid situation and dynamically evolving. Needless to say, my primary concern is the safety and security of this community. And we are encouraging, if anyone has information about the tragic events that unfolded this afternoon, to please contact us and provide that information. At this moment, I do want to say and share that my profound thanks and appreciation for all of the first responders who have come to assist us and all that are gathered right now speaking to continue this investigation, to include all of the City of Providence resources, state resources, and the federal government in terms of the FBI and ATF. Sir.
Now, Commander Tim O'Hara from Providence Police.
Good evening, Tim O'Hara, Deputy Chief of Providence Police. So earlier this afternoon, when we received the call for an active shooter inside a building inside Brown University, our officers responded, and as they're trained to do, entered that building immediately and began searching for a suspect. They did a systematic search of the building. However, no suspect was located at that time. They were able to clear that building and provide a safe place for all of students and faculty and workers that were in that building to meet at. Preliminarily, all we have is a suspect that was a male dressed in black. It is unknown how he entered the building, but we do know that he exited the Hope Street side of that complex. We're utilizing every resource possible to find this suspect. The shelter in place is in order, and I urge people to take that very seriously. Please do not come to the area. There's an active police investigation going on, and there's a lot of police activity. We've got assistance so far from some surrounding communities, the state police, the Cranston Police, East Providence Police, as well as our federal partners in the FBI and the ATF. We're talking to witnesses at this time and delving into any video that's in the area, and the investigation is very active and ongoing. We'll be updating you, I'm sure, throughout the night. But as I said, right now, there is no suspect that is under arrest. So please stay out of the area. Thank you.
We'll take questions at the end. We'll take questions at the end. We have a few more speakers, please. Next, Fire Chief Derek Silva.
Derek Silva, Fire Chief of the City of Providence. As mentioned previously, at 4:05 p.m., we were dispatched to the area of Waterman and Thayer for an active shooter incident where our firefighters, known as a rescue task force, linked up with Providence Police with 2 operational locations at Waterman and Thayer and Waterman and Hope. Rescue Task Force is a firefighter that wears body armor and has ability to stop any shooting wounds and make sure that any victims are extricated quickly. With the assistance of police in neighboring cities and towns, 8 people were transported, as the mayor mentioned, critical but stable condition, and 2, unfortunately, were dead on arrival. We have a total of 10 victims, but as I caution everyone, this is a developing incident, and we are still actively searching the buildings along with Providence Police to make sure that everyone has gone home safe and that there are no one else that needs our assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And then last, we'll hear from the Provost of Brown University, Frank Doyle.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Frank Doyle, Provost of Brown University. I want to reiterate, this is an evolving situation, as you've heard multiple times. Our first priority is the safety of our academic community, the campus community, and coordinating closely with law enforcement and medical services. In the meantime, we continue to direct our community to shelter in place in the greater vicinity of the campus. We are working immediately to determine who was in the building at the time of the shooting and any impacts in the shooting. We do know that there were final exams taking place in the building between 2 and 5 p.m. We can confirm that support services are on site. We have been and continue to be very grateful to law enforcement and emergency medical personnel. We have relocated students to get support services at a secure location, and we'll be providing more details. We continue to remain extremely grateful to local law enforcement for their ongoing support. We're committed to keeping our community informed, supporting our students and families, as well as the affected faculty and staff. Thank you.
So before we take questions, I just want to implore the greater Providence community. We are a week and a half away from Christmas, and 2 people died today and another 8 are in the hospital. So please pray for those families. Understand that this is not something our community has gone through together, but I also know this community, and I know that its best moments are when we come together to support one another. It's going to be a difficult rest of the day, difficult weeks and months ahead as this community heals. And each and every one of us can play a small role in that, and supporting one's neighbor and offering that support and their prayers for everyone involved. At this point, we'll be happy to take questions
Mayor,
as we know them.
what can you tell us about the victims, including whether they were all Brown University students?
We cannot disclose any details about the victims at this time, whether they were students or not, or any other details. We will make those details available when they become available. We expect to be providing regular updates throughout the evening and in the days to come, and this is too early to be able to provide those details.
Was there any advance warning that something like this might be happening?
The first we learned about today was the 911 call that came in, but we had no other, I don't think, we had no other notice or threat indicators or anything like that. Please, Kate.
Mayor, do you know exactly when Brown University did put out that someone was in custody? How long was that misinformation out for, and how was that determination made and then retracted?
There was an individual who was preliminarily thought to be involved and was later determined to have no involvement. And that's why we can confirm that at this time there is nobody in custody. The length of that investigation or interrogation of that individual, I don't know.
Has a weapon been recovered?
Commander?
No weapons have been recovered.
Do you know what weapon was used?
We just know that it was a firearm. What type of firearm, we're unaware of.
Mayor, Brown University police armed.
Yes, we are.
Commander, Do you need a pass to get into that building, or could someone just get in off the street?
I'm unaware of how the security of that building works.
Most of our buildings after hours are card swiped, but since there was a final exam, there was probably a lot of traffic in and out of that.
And where did it happen in the building? Did this take place inside where the exam was going on?
We're still verifying everything. So we look at everything right now as all part of the crime scene.
But were
So
the
we're
victims
checking.
found like in a hallway, or were they in a classroom?
We're unable to share that at this time.
Commander, can you say if there have been any confirmed shots fired since the 405 shots?
There was a call that came over for shots fired in the area of Governor Street, but that was unconfirmed and unfounded.
So as far as we know, the gunman has not been seen since around the 4 o'clock hour.
That's correct. The last time that we know that he's been seen was when somebody saw him leaving the building on the Hope Street side of the building.
Is he around college age, or do you have any?
I don't have any more information about his
Commander,
description.
Commander, could you repeat how the individual exited the building?
He exited the doors at the Hope Street side of the building.
Do police have any video footage of the suspect at this point?
We're working on that right now. We're working along with FBI on tracking down video from that area.
What resources are being used other than video at this point to try to locate the suspect?
Forensic evidence, we're using witness evidence, and just we're looking for video mostly right now because we'd like to get an image out as quickly as we can of the suspect.
Now, having been about close to 3 hours now, are you in contact with other law enforcement? Now we're talking at a large perimeter at this juncture. Who else is involved in this?
As I said earlier, state police are involved, ATF, the FBI, Providence Police Detectives, and all the other squads that we have available to us at the Patrol Bureau, and then our specialty intelligence units and our real-time crime center will be involved as well.
Any multi-state alerts?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Has everyone vacated that building at this point?
No, not everybody. There's still a police presence in that building. That's the crime scene. We're going to be in that building for quite some time.
But the students and faculty, bystanders?
Yes, everybody that was in that building at the time has been moved.
Commander, so it's 2 deceased and 8 that are in basic critical condition at the hospital?
They're in stable condition at the hospital, Rhode Island Hospital right now.
Are they able to provide any details? Or?
That's what we're working on right now, John.
In terms of when that suspect was last seen leaving the building on Hope Street, was that an eyewitness account? Did police see him leave? Was there any interaction with police with that suspect?
No interaction with that suspect with police. That was from eyewitness account.
Chief Deputy from Shelton, I just wanted to know if there's any kind of description you can provide to anybody here right now. I know it's kind of hard, but we don't know what we're looking for. So there's a lot of people on edge. Is there anything that you can give us?
All I can give you is a male, all dressed in black at this time. We're hoping to get something very soon. An image would be the best thing for us to get out there to you guys and everybody else. So
Do you have an image of him?
that I can't confirm.
Do you have an image of him?
I do not have an image of him.
Did he left on foot or did he get into a vehicle?
He left on foot.
Did he go down Hope Street?
He exited the building on Hope Street. Where he went from there, we're unsure.
How do you find a suspect in a city campus? Makes it very, very challenging.
We have all available resources, and as the governor mentioned, he's in touch with governors in other areas as well. This will be an ongoing investigation. Obviously, FBI, ATF, Providence Police, Brown Police are all actively investigating this as we speak, and we will provide updates as they become available. We expect to provide regular updates throughout the evening and in the days to come. We will share information as we have it with all of you. We knew that this update was preliminary, but we also know that there's a lot of fear and anxiety and concern in our community, and so it was important to get out the details that we do have at this time. At this point, you know all the information that can be shared, and we will keep the community and members of the press corps updated as we go throughout the evening.
Okay, very good. So that's a sad event, right?
It's a horrible event, and we should take the moment to have a moment of silence for the 2 individuals that was unalive. So we could just have a moment of silence for the passing of those 2 individuals. So yeah, we should always have a moment of silence. So yes, it's a tragic event. Um, I think we talked about it on one of our shows before when it comes to these mass shootings. These mass shootings always happen more prominently during the holidays. It always happens during the holidays. And now that the fact that Christmas is here, and especially that our young people are now going on Christmas holidays, this is when a lot of these lone shooters come out because they want to make a name of themselves, right? They want to make a name of themselves, so they decide to do these shootings. A lot of them also take the characteristic of past mass shootings, right? So as you can see, it says it looked like it's so far from the preliminary, they say it's a single male dressed in black. If you look at all the historic mass shootings, you will find most of the perpetrators hold the same type of characteristic, the same description of clothes. More likely, they probably had a bulletproof vest just in case if he get countered. I think the fact that this person, and I'm reading it, and I'm just reading some of the story, was inside the school, it's a possibility that it was a fellow student, right? Or someone young enough to look at as a student. Most likely they came in there just based on my initial review. It's possibly they came in there with the weapon in their bag and they took it out and they started doing what they did. Because it doesn't, I don't see anything in which they're saying that that he came through the doorway with the weapon. And sometimes that's what happened, because when you see somebody walking in to the school with a weapon, they get resistance unless they don't have security in the front, which I would be very surprised at, that they don't have security in the front to prevent somebody coming in with a weapon. But anyway, there's a lot more to be found. I do believe that they know more than we know right now. I think they do have an idea who the suspect is and which way the suspect went. But I just don't think that they're willing to say it at this time, because they are now looking at all the films. It would be almost impossible for me to think that they don't know which way the perp went, right? But they don't want to say anything because the perp is at large. And as a result of the perp being at large, the perp is most likely watching all coverage of what's happening right now. So they don't want the perp to know how much information they know about him. Most likely it's a him, because it's very rare it's a female that actually does this act. So they don't want him to know that they're watching. They know who he is. So this is why right now they're not saying the information that they have. So it's a sad situation. I've been doing this work of gun violence prevention, pew violence prevention for over 10 years. So it's horrible. And they do it during the holidays. That's what people have to understand. They look forward to doing it during the holidays. My condolences to my fellow survivors. I always like to say that they right now is going to have to go through what a lot of us who lost our loved one to pew violence. They're going to have an empty seat at their table. Some of them already bought gifts for their loved ones that's not coming home. If you guys are praying community, please pray for the family, especially if they've never lost anybody due to this type of violence. It's going to just be the most horrific, gut-wrenching time of their lives right now. If they have only, because we don't know who unalive, so we don't know if it's an only son or only daughter, but if they have one child, that child was taken away from them. I think it happened today. They're gonna have to live through that pain and horror. And I could tell you, they are now going to live in a new reality. They're gonna have the reality of prior to today and after today, and it's gonna be just horrific, especially during the holidays. Holidays will never be the same again. Christmas will never be the same again. It's just, I can't even begin, unless you live that life, because we do live a life as a family. You know, we lost two. We lost one, Pierre-Paul Jean-Paul Jr. is my nephew that was unalived in Queens as a result of gun violence in 2008, November 11, 2008. God rest people. We call them people. We also lost a Lance Corporal Nicholas White in Iraq in, I believe it was June 21st in 2006. He got unalived 2 days before his 22nd birthday. We still remember Nikki to this day, his name Nikki. So we had two tragedies in our lives, and I could tell you that it changes you. It changes you as a person. It changed you as a family. And that's the reason why I got into this work for many years. I was in the gun violence prevention work. I was also in the survivor work. I resigned 2 years ago just to take some time and give the opportunity to somebody else to take over my lead, because I was the survivor lead in New York for many years. So right now I'm not doing that. I'm doing more content stuff. And now Mel introduced me to this world, so I'm doing this. But I could tell you that this is, the work is hard, but being an actual survivor is the worst type of existence that you could even imagine. Whether you lost a loved one due to a disease like the big C or an accident, every death of a loved one is a tragedy. So I am not going to do the disservice of equating different type of deaths for any, because every loss is a tragedy. I could tell you, based on experience of someone who lost a loved one due to pew violence, especially when you expect that loved one to come home to have dinner and all of a sudden you get that call and they're no longer here, is the most gut-wrenching, the most difficult time of your life. And I pray, even though I'm a lapsed Catholic, I pray for the family members, because they are now going to live in a new existence. They need to have love around them. They need to have family, and they need justice. And they need justice, because right now they are not even able to grieve right now, because the person that took their loved one is still on the run. So they need to catch that perp right away to keep the families in their prayers, but to also keep the community safe, because especially if the family lives in Rhode Island also, that's scary. But imagine if you don't even live in Rhode Island and you out of town and you have to come in. It's crazy. I can't even begin to tell. So let's pray for the families. Let's hope that they capture the perp. But I really think that the FBI, the college, the politician, they know who the person is, or they have the idea, but they're just not saying it out loud, giving all the information, because they know that the shooter is watching. And it will be horrible if the shooter's part of the community, and it will be double horrible if the shooter's fellow students. Is a lot. So yeah.
Okay. So would you like to, before we check out, you want to finish up what you were saying about Erica Kirk or Trump? I forget what you were saying.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of,
or we could go to Luigi Mangione for a few minutes and wrap up.
There's a lot of people that are talking a lot of crap here that might want to be removed from the chat. I'm just saying. I'm watching some of these chat. You ever remove people from the chat, or you keep them in there?
No, we do. If they're out of pocket, yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's some of them that's out of pocket. But anyway, rest in peace to the two individuals that was unalive, and blessing to their family during this holiday season. So where did you want to go as far as going back to the subject matter? Do you want to go back to, I think we started talking about Luigi when you said that the breaking news.
Yeah, so we could, what are your thoughts about Luigi case so far?
I was hoping the case was going to be over on Friday. We have to go back next week. So I went in there earlier the morning, so I saw that they were speaking to one of the police officers that actually pat down Luigi. And I think he was the officer that actually ended up putting the handcuffs on him, if I remember correctly. Now, he was a very interesting person. He didn't come in, because I didn't hear, because I got there kind of late. So normally the first half hour is the discussion between the lawyers. But I think they started a lot earlier, because by the time I came in, I missed his entry and stuff like that.
Sam McCoy and
Yes,
Eric Houston, yeah. McCoy is the one you're talking about, yeah.
Yes, because I didn't see Houston. I read about Houston because I was trying to come back, but they closed the court early, I guess, because I was trying to come back at 3 o'clock so I could get the 3:30 to 5 o'clock. But I think they ended it about I think around 3 o'clock. So I missed the ending of the trial. But I was there for I'm sorry, guys. I was there for McCoy. McCoy didn't talk about Fox News, and he didn't talk about that's where he saw him. He actually said that when he got there, he wasn't sure who they had because he wasn't 100% sure that Luigi was Luigi because he never really saw his picture prior to the case. If what I'm hearing is correct, because again, I came in late. So I thought that was interesting because he just showed up just to show up, I'm guessing. he heard that they might have the CEO on the live, so he wanted to show up. So he came in there and he was pretty much, he was just explaining exactly what happened. I actually like McCoy better than the rest of them because I think McCoy was pretty much honest. Like McCoy was like, one of the statements he says that I don't know why everybody showed up at McDonald's. I can't say that. I know I was there to do a job. I like that. Okay, because he didn't try to make it an excuse like, oh, everybody came because they took their own initiative to come and because they were concerned about the safety of the fellow officers. He did give us, some BS at the end, but overall, I kind of like his take and stuff like that. He did say that he frisked Luigi another time, even though Luigi was already frisked. Which I don't understand. But he said he did frisk him again. He didn't have an excuse of why he frisked him. He was like, well, he was there and he had several layers on. So I just wanted to pat him down again to make sure we didn't miss anything. So he didn't try to make an excuse as far as, oh my God, I feared for my safety. So I felt that I had to frisk him again, even though 2 other officers frisked him before. He just seemed like a regular guy answering the questions. And then when the prosecutor, because I was there, when the defense actually crossed him, he seemed to agree with a lot of what the defense was saying. Was like, well, Luigi bag wasn't close by, was it? No, it wasn't. You moved his bag away from him, right? Yes, we did move the bag. So you didn't feel that he was going to use his feet. I tell you, I love Jacob. Jacob said that you didn't have a fear that he was going to use his feet because you had him handcuffed to grab the bag in order to get inside the bag to give something to hurt you guys, did you? He's like, no, I did not feel that I was in harm's way at that particular time. So I felt very happy with his answer. Until the prosecutor came back to cross-examine after the cross-examination. The prosecutor was like, well, even though you just told us just now, you just told the defense just a minute ago, that you didn't fear Luigi, but you do know there's a possibility that it could go left, right? And that's when he started giving us the bull BS. You are absolutely right. Even though at that moment, I didn't fear him because we had other fellow officers and then he was patted down and I patted down. You never know in these cases. Because I've been in situations when even though if we have somebody cuffs with their hand behind their back, they could come and they could attack us and they could just change the environment and it could be dangerous for all of us. I'm like, yo, you were doing so good. You were doing so good, and then you fell into this bullshit. So the whole thing was, the examination was very interesting. I kind of liked the last officer. I didn't think he was trying to play big time hero. He wasn't trying to lie necessarily. So I kind of like McCoy. But it's still the whole same thing. The whole thing is they're trying to save this case because they know that they were wrong. They know they were wrong for not reading his Miranda right. They know they were wrong for searching his bag without a warrant. They know it, but they're trying to make this guy, Luigi, the most dangerous human being in the world, and he's not coming across that way. I'm sorry. I mean, I think that justice should be had. I think that if it is proved that he unalived Brian Thompson, God bless, rest Brian Thompson, peace. I hold his family in my heart. I wish them the best during the holiday. But the fact of the matter is that they should not have done what they did. They failed in the procedures, and they need to be held accountable and stuff like that. But they want to make it like an excuse that because they knew that Luigi was the guy that unalived Brian Thompson as a result of his photo, they felt that they had to go through extraordinary means in order to get him caught up. Like they had to go to extraordinary means as far as asking him questions, because that's another thing. McCoy asked him additional questions, and McCoy wasn't supposed to ask him questions. So even though he was patted down previously, even though they knew about his ID, McCoy asked him additional questions he shouldn't have. And he did it without the Mirandizing him. That's another thing about McCoy. But at least he said, the reason why I asked him questions is because I wanted to get information. McCoy said that. I don't think the prosecutor was happy about that statement, but he did say it. That's why I like McCoy, because he didn't come across as if he was trying to lie about what he did like the other. And the others, I don't even know if they're lying on purpose, but they're lying in order to save the case. They're trying to explain their misbehavior, right? That's the thing, because I don't want to call the officers liars, but they lied. And they're trying to say the reason why they lied is because they had a dangerous guy. He wasn't dangerous at that point. He sat down with his hand up like this. He listened to all the instructions. McCoy agreed to that. He didn't intimidate. I wasn't intimidated by him. I didn't have any fear in my heart about him. He listened to everything besides him lying about his ID. He listened to everything we said. He followed all of our instructions and stuff like that. When we asked him to get up, he got up. When we asked him to put his hand behind his back, he did. When we asked him to put his hand against the wall, he did. He did nothing. He just followed all our instructions. But you could tell by the video and the photos that these officers were relaxed. They weren't intimidated by Luigi. Luigi wasn't doing anything to intimidate him. The perception is that, because he was such a dangerous person, because he came out of open, if he is the perp, and he was bold and brazen, and he unalived somebody that looked like them, somebody that could be their father and their brother and stuff like that. He unalived it in daytime. So in theory, this is one of the most dangerous person that you have in front of you. But when they got there, though, and they saw this young man sitting there eating his breakfast, chilling, and they approached him and they spoke to him, he gave none of that. He gave none of that. He didn't give any energy, any negativity, to the point that they spent like almost 20 to 40 minutes trying to figure out, can it possibly be the guy? Are we sure that's the guy? Because he's not giving us nothing, right? And the moment that they felt it was the guy, they should have Mirandized him. They should have put him in handcuffs. They should have took his bag. They should have got a warrant to search his bag. But they didn't do any of that because for some reason, mentally, they felt they had to do all of this to capture this young guy. That's where we are. Any other questions?
No, I think you did a great job. A lot of people are talking well. There was one guy that was calling names. I got it. Some of the people that thought that you were talking about them, you were not. So I just want to make that clear.
I was talking about who?
When you said someone was speaking negatively or derogatory, some people thought you were talking about them. I took care of the guy who was just calling you names.
It was just one guy. It was just one guy that was calling me names and stuff like that. I don't mind, guys. Let me tell you something, and I hope that Mel understand this. I don't mind people talking crap about me or my opinion and stuff. If you guys gonna call me stupid, I'm gonna counter your perception because I'm not stupid. Again, I tell you, I find myself to be very intelligent for a Brooklynite, for a woman. I speak like everyday language, because I like simplicity. I don't need to use $1,000 words, but I'm very well known in my field, very respected, and I'm her. And if you know your kids and your teenagers, especially Black America, if we say we her or we him, that means that I'm it. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care if people call me stupid and unintelligent, blah, blah. But what I don't like is people disrespectful on the chat and stuff like that. I don't think it's necessary because I'm not disrespecting the MAGA brothers and sisters. I have MAGA brothers and sisters. I don't have MAGA brothers and sisters, thank God, but I do have MAGA extended family who really loves Donald Trump and believe in what he's doing. It took me a long time to get to a place where I could even have this conversation with Mel or anybody because I was so angry for so long. So I can understand people being angry at me and my take on Donald Trump, of how I feel about Donald Trump and my political views. But I promise you, I'm in the world. So I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to politics and what's going on, and especially when it goes with Trump. But that don't mean that you guys have to like what I have to say. But you can't come in these chat and being disrespectful. I'm not calling my MAGA brothers and sisters out of their name. I'm not calling them those do that. I'm not doing all that. I used to. Don't get it twisted. When he won the first time, 26 and 2020, I had mad hate for you guys. But right now, we're no longer there. I mean, y'all voted for him again. And with the help of the independents, with the help of the Latinos, with the help of a larger community. So I got to give y'all that respect because I'm like, yo, y'all did that. You understand? I don't like it, but I can give you respect. And I would like to have the same respect. You may disagree with me. That's fine. But if you start calling me by my name and starting stuff like that, then you got to go because I'm not doing the same to you.
Okay, very good. So thank you. So I didn't really want to do this, but there's a lot of people in the comments. So I'm going to close out the show for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to go through this one more time.
Okay.
To show them a sequence. Now, if you want to interject and say something, just do a wave or something. But I'm just going to go through the footage so everybody can kind of understand the whole Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens. We're just going to have a little watch party. We played it before, but I'm going to play it straight through for those who are just coming in. So first, we're going to look at Charlie Kirk, and then we're going to see how Candace and Erica started going back and forth. So let's get to it.
Motivated and celebrated by the media. So Joy Reid goes on MSNBC and says that there's something wonderfully poetic about the fact that the first person to criminally prosecute Donald Trump is a black Harvard grad. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home, is what Joy Reid says. Joy Reid is racializing what is happening to Trump. None of us are racializing it. In fact, we think it's completely irrelevant. We're not here to...
Hey guys, I'd like to ask you to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And also go check out Mamas with an S Flip Slots. Check out her channel. It's awesome. You're going to love it.
Look at the skin color of Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James. But what Joy Reid sees is revenge against the white man. It's not a shock because Joy Reid racializes everything in American life. This is, of course, the downfall of the entire republic. Listen for yourself. Play cut 71.
There is something wonderfully poetic about the fact that despite the fact that even if convicted, he's not going to go to prison, the first person to actually criminally prosecute Donald Trump is a black Harvard grad, the very kind of person that his former staff, the people who worked for him, Stephen Miller, et cetera, want to never be at Harvard Law School. But he was. And he came out and graduated. He's prosecuting you, Donald. And a black woman is doing that same exact thing in Georgia. And a black woman forced you to pay a $175 million fine that's out now also in question because the people who put it up, that might not be legit. Donald Trump is being held to account by the very multicultural, multiracial democracy that he's trying to dismantle. And for me, there's something poetic and actually wonderful about that. It says something good about our country that we're still capable of having that happen. Go DEI. My DEIs are bringing it home on today.
Hold on. You're not exactly making the best case here, Joy Reid. Fani Willis is a DEI? Okay, you're saying it, not me. Okay. Fani Willis has broken like every protocol and possibly Georgia law. Alvin Bragg is a DEI. You said it, not me. The guy's a moron. In one of the sloppiest written indictments, legally shoddy indictments we've seen. Letitia James is a DEI. You said it. I didn't. You're proving to me why they're
So this video is one of the reasons why a lot of people of color do not like Charlie Kirk, because they feel like he was speaking negatively about people of color.
Terrible.
It's true. It's true.
You read their indictment.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's true he was, but let's continue. I'm getting dressed because I'm supposed to be out of here. And my mother said that she doesn't want to go to the casino anymore. No, let's continue because I'm dressing while we're doing this. So I'm about to get out of here soon, but let's continue. Because I told her give me another 2 minutes.
Okay.
First of all, the first indictment was filled with typos. I don't look at race, but you're bringing up race here and you're saying, well, these DEIs are doing, if DEI means hyper-partisan, bitter, looks at the world through racialized lens to get whitey, and they're not very smart, you're making the argument, Joy Reid. They have racialized and weaponized the justice system. That's not something to be celebrated. But you're calling them DEI. And it kind of proves the point. They're not very bright. They are not qualified, but they're angry, motivated, and celebrated by the media.
Okay, so you get a chance to understand Charlie Kirk's position on, people of color and so forth. Were you saying something?
Yes, I was about to say, give me 1 second. I'm about to put the camera, but I was about to say, I hate to disrespect the dead. But the funny thing about him is that he tries to use Joy Reid sarcasm against her, and it failed miserably. The reason why she was using the DEI statement is because they were saying that all Black people are DEI. It didn't have to. I don't know whether Tish James actually was given a scholarship. I don't know if Alan Bragg was given a scholarship when he went to Harvard. I don't know because I didn't look that deep. But because she was using DEI, because DEI represent all Black folks of intelligence who has a high position. That's what MAGA was saying. Any Black person who excelled to the highest office or the highest field is a DEI. So she was being sarcastic when she used DEI, but he tried to use it against her. The funny thing as far as calling these very impressive Black people idiots is the fact that these very impressive Black people got Donald Trump guilty on every case they went after him. Period. That's what it is. So he was mad about that. So he was using Joy Reid, and the fact that he saw about how Joy Reid was race baiting, they was race baiting, because the whole DEI situation is based on race. Is the fact that they felt, a lot of people, and I'm gonna take it away from Charlie because he's no longer here, but a lot of people in his crew feel that Black people are not as intelligent, as successful as they are to get the job that they're getting. They feel they are haters of Black people who is very intelligent and very successful. They think they deserve the job because they are white, right? And there's no way that Black people could excel over them. That's what it is. And that's what became this whole big thing when it came to Donald Trump and his success in the white community, because Donald Trump gives voice to their insecurities of the intelligence and brilliance of Black people. Donald Trump makes them think that Black people is taking something that is rightly theirs, and it's wrong. Because Black folks, like I always say, we work the hardest out of anybody. There's a lot of white people and I have a lot of white tea friends and families, and I hate to say it because people's like, oh, Black, white people say that you have a lot of Black friends to change the narrative. I do. I love my people, especially former Marine. Most of my people in the Marine Corps are white tea people, and I know the excellence of the white tea man and the white tea women. But we don't have to talk about the excellence of the white tea man and white tea women because you guys believe that you were born with it. You see, but we as Black people, we had to work for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? We had to struggle because our color and the way we look in our hair make you guys think that we are less than. So we always had to work harder than the next person. The white tea people, we already know they're going to be successful because of their lights, their color, because their eyes, because of their hair, right? They had the advantage. The rest of us didn't. So whenever you see a Black person like myself that is successful in our career and intelligence, is intimidation for some people. And they're like, oh, we're making it into a race thing. When we never made it into a race thing. We were always fighting against the racism against us. You understand? So Charlie Kirk was about some BS. God rest his soul. Peace. May you rest in peace. May we get justice for your unalivement. But he was about some bullshit when it came to that.
Okay, so
that's it. Sorry.
All right. So now we're gonna check out Candace Owens to see her position on how she kind of got into it with Erica Kirk.
I would like to stop, if you can tell me.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies. And she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So this is just, to me, I'm going to also let you know, they pre-recorded this. Obviously, I told you this yesterday, from about 11 o'clock to 4 p.m. I have sources just everywhere, CBS News, the people that were in the audience I showed you were emailing me, and they had to do multiple takes because Barry wanted to read a prompter. These questions were pre-submitted, okay? And I would like to respond to this loaded question. What would you like to say? The podcaster Candace Owens, and I'm not even going to address this repeat talking point about people making money, except for the people that have actually made off of all of the money, millions upon millions of dollars. But this is the new thing. It's like, if you keep doing what you were already doing in podcasting, or keep doing what you were already doing and doing ballistics on YouTube, if you catch a bunch of views, they want to convince you that like you wake up and you turn into a millionaire. Building her business. What are you talking about? I already had this business. I was already at the top of the charts. Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I actually did, because it's so ridiculous, okay? But she says, I'm lying. And Erica responds, and her answer to what do you want to say to the podcaster Candace Owens who is lying is stop. So Erica would like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that, okay? I can only honor that if Erica is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming out on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together and I can't find the lie, okay? The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA. Why is there not this same energy also for the feds? Because they've told some lies. So what am I lying about? Explicitly lying about. Not made a molecular or a minor mistake. We got a time zone wrong. And then it's like, she lied. The plane left a couple of hours earlier. Maybe somewhere I made a mistake on a timeline of Charlie being here on this day when he's actually there on that day. But I'm talking like, where am I lying? Because I would like to stop if you can tell me.
Okay, so now we get Candace's position. Now we're going to go to Erica Kirk and see her position on the matter.
Seriously, if you want to find and pick me.
With Erica Kirk sharing her journey with America and the world, we are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing as we all miss and mourn the loss of her beloved Charlie Kirk. Not all of her journey has been without, well, hate, conspiracies, and oddly, speculation about where her husband is buried. Now, for the first time, Erica, who's with me now, addresses all of it from the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that, but this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel.
Okay, very good. So now we're getting a chance to see Erica's Kirk position on it. If you have to go, I understand. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yes, I'm gonna say goodbye because I got to go to the casino, and I've been keeping my mom waiting for 2 hours, so she's pissed off. Thank you everybody for having me. As I said earlier to those who came in, Erica has decided that she wants to take a stance for the TPUSA people. She, I'm sure a lot of her people were saying that you need to say something against Candace Owen. She's taking it too far, and she's lying. Baba, she's taking away from your grief, from your kids and your family. You need to say something. I think the worst thing that Erica did was addressing this situation. I think that she should have kept it respectful, and she should have been above the fray, to be honest with you. She right now, to the MAGA Americans and to a lot of people, she is their Jackie Onassis, right? The widow of JFK, Loretta King, the widow of Martin Luther King. And we could talk about Malcolm X's widow. We could talk about all of them. All these women went on to be great women, and they did the job in memory of their loved one by trying to dispel the hate, bringing people together. And they continue, a lot of them continue to do charity work. They made their own life after as a widow. She is using, I don't want to say that she's using her widow. Let me not say that. What I'm saying is that she should have just let it go. She should, right now, she started a war with Candace Owen. And at this time, Candace Owen is being very gracious by saying, if you want me to stop lying, I will stop. Just let me know what I'm lying about. Candace Owen is giving her a lot of grace. But if she continue poking on Candace, Candace is going to go ape hit on this widow. She is. And anything that Charlie said about his wife to his friend, she's going to come out and she's going to say it. Don't piss off Candace. Candace is just not one of those people that you want to mess with. She's giving you grace. I think Erica should just back up and just let it be and say, look, what she's doing, I may not agree with what she's doing, but that is Charlie's friend. I'm just going to ask her to be careful, and I am not going to talk about her or anything she does in the future, because this is going to be World War X between them. It's going to get ugly because Candace is giving her grace right now. Candace doesn't give grace. Candace is going to go after that. But anyway, I got to go. Thank you so much for including me. I didn't expect to be your co-host or your guest speaker in this show. And thank you for extending the show to allow me to have my say. No, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good time. And we'll send some people your way to your channel. Hopefully.
Yes. Give me about a half an hour, like around midnight. That's why my mother's so pissed. We're going so late. We're going to be playing at the casino, Mama Flip slot channel. Please join us. Join us there so you can see me lose some money.
All right.
Bye. Bye,
very
guys.
good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. We're going to see if we can get this back up. We're going to finish the video, and then we're going to see how Candace responds.
I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that.
Guys, we have 400 people here. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you for the support. Also, turn on your notifications so when we go live, you can get the notification.
After me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats.
Wow, they have all these death threats. Welcome in Mabagi, I believe. Welcome in. Lock in with us. One Love says she forgave Tyler, but is coming at Candace. Isn't that something?
I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what, the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously. Wow. You will, if you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you. They will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people that I love, and I'm done. I'm done. And if people think that I was just going to wilt away, I'm not going to sit in a corner and cry and be in fetal position. This is a duty to my husband, and it's an absolute honor, and I will never back down. And so my message to them is to stop. To stop.
And that's what we will say here on Outnumbered 2. God bless you.
You know, Candace released a video. Her and Charlie Kirk looked like they were really, really close friends. I mean, it was pretty interesting to me from a guy perspective, you know what I mean? So do you think it's right that his wife is telling her to knock it off, to stop, or does she have a right to talk about her experience with him and also, as they say, really be concerned or ride for her friend if she felt like Israel or whoever had something to do with it, right? Does Candace have that right? What do you guys think? Tell us. So Candace responds to her. Let's check it out.
Has time. She has time. It is just what she means to say, not her priority, which is you are allowed to prioritize things in your own life. But this is not a matter of time constraint. It is not her priority to respond to the majority, actually. The majority of people think of this as BS. The majority of people think Turning Point is acting suspicious.
If you are Team Erica, put a 1 in the chat. If you're Team Candace, put a 2 in the chat.
And she does not feel that it is what she wants to do as a matter of priority, responding. Okay, that's fine. Now, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars, I just don't get how there's not someone on this very large PR team, as we're seeing these PR campaigns go out, but doesn't go, hey, maybe we should strike that. They made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. Oh, and we've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn you people that are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the BS narrative that is being fed and the very obvious psychological operation that is being employed to make you accept the BS that they are trying to sell to us. Gosh darn you. Did you make $1,000 today? Speaking about Charlie Kirk? Well, you should be ashamed of yourself, says Turning Point USA, who in large part made that money because of those very people who gave to the organization immediately following Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Okay, very good. So you've seen both sides. You also seen some of Charlie Kirk's viewpoints. So now we're going to take a quick look at some of the pushback that people are giving Candace, which is pretty tough. Let's check it out.
Real quick. So Candace Owens, in the most giddy, borderline evil story I've ever seen, is getting ready to now go on the attack against Erica Kirk. This is what it's always been about. She said that if Erica Kirk herself asked her to stop, she would. Erica said in a resounding voice today.
Okay, guys, did she say that? Did Candace Owens say that? That's the $1 million question.
Back off. But Candace was never going to. It was never about that. It is only about the money. She does not care about Charlie. She does not care about Turning Point USA. She doesn't care about you that support her. She is a woman scorned, a woman on a warpath, and all she cares about is money and fame. And she will burn everything to the ground to get it. It's evil. I rebuke it. I do not stand with Candace Owens. I don't care what you have to say. Any of you that support her are blind.
Okay, so we're going to look at the last video of tonight. A little bit more pushback on Candace Owens.
Bit of a public crash out over Candace Owens, who he claims is grifting off of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who she does not hate, who was actually.
If Candace Owens' actions and requests are to pull the donations from Turning Point and malign the people involved with it so that no one wants to be involved, the question then becomes, what will Turning Point be a year from now? And if Candace's actions say anything and she succeeds, Turning Point will have been destroyed. Charlie's legacy gone. Everything he built erased and but a memory. That is what Candace is working towards because she hates Charlie Kirk. What is going to happen in the midterms? And the people that once stood together are now all fighting with each other. And I got to tell you, I am black-pilled.
Well, Tim.
All right, so he's black-pilled. Is that what he said? All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're hitting 4 hours. Would you believe? Would you believe they put a man on the moon, right? A lot of people don't believe that anymore. We're living in some quite amazing times. A lot of people don't believe most of what they hear. What do they say? Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. We're living in that time, folks. I think earlier, for those who were here during the first hour, we went through some of Epstein photos. 40 photos, right? A lot of those photos have Donald Trump. They also have Bill Clinton and so forth. What do you guys think? Was there something more sinister happening, or were they just standing next to Epstein? Were they just catching a ride on the Lolita Express? What was happening? Do you think that there's more coming? Some of the senators have said that they're going to release some of the photos that they're currently redacting. It was 95,000 photos. 25,000 they reviewed, and they put out several hundred, right? Now, what do you guys think about the ones that are coming where individuals are actually having relations with girls and they're trying to redact these photos? Who do you think are in those photos? Right? Well, we don't know, but we will find out soon. Everybody's been asking for months about the Epstein files. When I was covering Sean Diddy Combs' trial, going every day, people were saying, oh, we don't want to hear about Diddy. We want to hear about Epstein, right? Now I'm covering Luigi Mangione, and then I'll be flying out to Utah to cover Tyler Robertson. Oh, ironically, Charlie Kirk's unaliver. We can't use the word on YouTube, KILL. So that's why we're saying unalive, trying to survive the YouTube streets. So for those of you who are pushing back, that's the reason why. We're trying to fall within the YouTube guidelines. So throughout all these trials that I cover, people, even when we have news at noon every day, people are saying, where are the Epstein files? So now we're starting to find out. And the big question is, how will it affect the president? They could show Bill Clinton doing whatever. People really don't care. They want to see something with Donald Trump because people don't like Donald Trump. Not everyone. Obviously, it's about half and half, right? Half Americans like him, half don't. And or maybe that might be skewed a little bit. But at any rate, what do you guys think? Are you for Donald Trump? Are you against Donald Trump? Or are you kind of neutral to where you could look at some of the positive things that he does? That's where I sit, right? If Donald Trump does something that I agree with, like here in New York, we had a man set a lady on fire on a train that I catch, right? Set her on fire, right? Now we have the National Guard. When I'm going to the trial every day, I see the National Guard in the subway. I see them in the street. Feel a little bit safer. I've been in the New York streets covering the No Kings protest. You guys know I cover just about anything. I'm not afraid to go into those dark places, right? It feels much better with the National Guard out there. Whether you like it or not, I'm just saying it makes you feel a lot safer. Now, do we know if this is going to continue after Mamdani is signed in? Well, we know that the current mayor, Eric Adams, he was in trouble. Donald Trump saved him to a certain extent, right? He saved him, but they wanted control of New York. So I kind of figured that the National Guard would come and nobody would protest from a higher level. So at any rate, are you able to look at the president? Are you able to look back at Biden and say, Biden did a horrible job at this, but he did a good job at this, right? Most people can't because they sit in a certain spot. And if they're a Republican, oh, we can't say anything good about Biden. If I'm a Democrat, I can't just say one good thing about Trump. And so therein, I believe, lies the problem because we're more committed to a group of people than intelligence, right? Right. I'm pretty sure even if you're a Democrat, you don't fully agree with everything Democrats do. Maybe you don't feel like men should be able to go into women's sports or whatever. Or if you're a Republican, you probably don't agree with everything Donald Trump did. What about withholding all of the people? You might debate this part. All of the people that had their income, that worked for the government, right? That had their income locked. They couldn't get it because of the shutdown. You're probably not so happy with that, right? So at any rate, I'm just trying to understand where do you guys sit on this matter? Okay, Brian says Mel exactly on point. Okay, thank you very much. Dwight says God bless President Trump, his administration, ICE, and the great nation. All right, very good. Let's see. Chris Braun says, who cares? Well, apparently not Chris. Okay, thank you. Let's see. How can CU says Biden was abused for 3 years? Oh my. One Love says Trump saved another brother. The Dems never did that. Okay. Rick Young says the mayor of New York has nothing to do with the National Guard. Okay. All right. That's let's see. Adam Sucks. That's from PS China. Brian Cantrell says we just need a change. Biden wasn't being a president. Okay, so you're going to blame it on the auto pen. Okay. One Love says Tim. Okay, not sure what that means. All right, guys. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're approaching 4 hours. We did a long stretch tonight. We will be back on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with the criminal defense attorney, Calvin Johnson. We're going to talk about Donald Trump, all of the releases from the Democrats of all these photos that came from the Epstein Island. We'll talk about Luigi Mangione. I'm going to court every day for that particular case. We're going to break it down. Earlier, I was on Anjanette Levy. It's very important. I was on Anjanette Levy's channel. She's from Law and Crime, right? We had a great show. Go support her. She shows a lot of love to Watching the World. I have a show with her weekly on Saturdays. So I will be broadcasting that tomorrow before I go on with Calvin Johnson, bringing him on at 8 p.m. I will be back in court on Tuesday. So that means on Monday, we'll have our news at noon. Please tune in for that as well. And also we'll have a nightly show at 8 p.m. Thank you to all the moderators. It's very important. We have Stella Mashona. We have Eric was here tonight. We have so many that we even had One Love, Candyman, that Brian Cantrell, people that really support the channel. You guys are invaluable. You're so amazing. I just want to tell you that. Okay, somebody is saying that Trump sucks. Oh my. Okay, let's see. Candace does her job and she is good at it. Stop hating. That's from 1351. Okay, all right. So that's going to be it for tonight. I just want to see if there's any more comments. Who can take us out of here? For those who want money, make sure you send the email. I'll take care of you right away. One Love says, talk about Kamala. Calvin don't like Trump. Well, I think he said he would be balanced when it comes to Donald Trump. So we'll have a good discussion. I think it's going to be good tomorrow. So definitely tune back in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We're expecting a large crowd. We have a few live shows coming up. Candace Kelly and I, we're going to be doing a live event in New York City, so stay tuned for that. We have a new website out, and also we have the Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, you can. You'll have to see Stella about that because she knows more about what's going on with that. I appreciate the fact that she stepped up to take a lot of these things off of my shoulders. Okay, how can we see you? Says Candace isn't lame. She's her own brain. Okay, so we're going to start letting people join the Discord so that we can have more of an inside track and more communication, and you can reach out if you have questions. As you guys know, I'm big in investing, so we'll have a lot going on in regards to investing and what's good, what to stay away from. We're also going to have a lot of professionals coming on to have discussions as well. And I have a very, very big potential senator coming on. So it's going to be great. I'm so excited, but I won't spill the beans yet. But we have great people coming on to give us insight. Yes, indeed. Stella is the MVP. Thank you very much, One Love. That's a kind thing to say to her. I'm pretty sure she appreciates that as well. So thank you kindly, guys. Everybody have a good night's rest. Tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow we will more than likely have news at noon and definitely the 8 o'clock show at night. So tune in for that. Please, on the way out, like the video, subscribe, share. We're growing and it's a beautiful thing. And we're going to continue to cover these cases. So if you like that type of material, I'm going to invite Anjanette Levy on from Law and Crime on here as well, too. I think you guys will really like her. But tomorrow night, I'll be showing that around 7 p.m. to show you our show that we had earlier before I started the show tonight. So thank you. And have a good night. Stella says, have a good night. Brian Cantrell says, have a good night, my friend. One Love. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's it. Salute. One Love says, salute to the chat and host. Stay blessed. I like to, a lot of these guys are not Democrats, but they support the channel because that's how cool we are over here. You see what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, sometimes when you come on the channel, you might hear some things going left. But the reason why people hang around or they like being here is because they know that I'm a pretty neutral guy. right? I mean, I get a lot done. I perform at a high level, believe me, in real life. You know, I get things done. But I think that's the sweet spot here, is that you could be a Republican, Democrat, whatever you want to be, right? You can identify as a mushroom. I don't really care. No one's going to be calling your names and all that nonsense around here. So thank you guys, and come back with us, grow with us, join the Discord. We'll be releasing more information about that. Go check out the website. We have a lot coming through, and I look forward to maybe some of you guys can come to our live event in New York with Candace Kelly and I. We're going to be covering at least Diddy and Luigi Mangione case, and probably even Mama Flips. I'm pretty sure she'll be involved as well. So you get a chance to meet us. And also, we know New York pretty well. So if you need to understand how to maneuver, I could definitely help you with that. So good night to everybody. I hate to have to go, but we got to get out of here. Good night. Thank you. And thanks to Mama Flip. Go check out her channel. In about 30 minutes, you can go to Mama Flip's channel. She'll be live streaming to show you the slots, and maybe she'll hit that, she'll win that million tonight. Let's put that into the air. All right. Good night, everybody. And to all a good night.
Different voices, but the same song. Loving a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.